Exercise is medicine because we don't want to be a slave to over-the-counter drugs or to pharmaceuticals for the rest of our lives. It's amazing what 15 minutes a day, it's amazing what 50 to 75 minutes of moderate vigorous activity per week can do to the human body.
There are opportunities for our work and careers everywhere, if you know where to look. That's easier said than done, especially in our fast-paced and constantly changing world. Ann Faremouth is talking to experts, employers, and job seekers to bring you insight and understanding about what's possible. This is Career Can Do, where we're navigating the new work world.
Welcome to the Career Can Do podcast, the podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the new work world. My name is Ann Faremouth. I'm a career coach, author, and recruiter. And today I am so excited because I have with me two gentlemen that are really making a difference for people in the workplace. And I say that because they really have their finger on the pulse with helping people navigate the work world and helping them alleviate all the stresses we're all dealing with these days. So without further ado, let me introduce Mel Arenas and Harry Stafford. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us, Ann.
Thank you, Ann.
Well, you're welcome. Mel, I'm so impressed with your company, and of course, I'm a client of it, and I feel like I can put my stamp of validation on this company because I myself have worked with you. Mel, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started in BreatheFit.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us on, and we love you being one of our clients as well. More than anything, BreatheFit was really a concept that happened several years back. Initially, it was my history of being a respiratory therapist and working and owning multiple pulmonary rehabs across the country at one time. So we decided there was a gap in healthcare where there was this gap where people could not transition from hospital to home, and they were not getting the same effect that they were in a traditional rehab center. That's the birth of BreatheFit. So a lot of my experience working as a personal trainer through some of the NBA teams, I used to work with some of the pro athletes, but also working through my pulmonary rehabs that were also dedicated to some academic schools and universities. And that's the neat part, that we blended all these pieces together and created this one program to help people reach their fitness levels through breathing, through fitness, but most of all, this holistic style of exercise and helping people, again, recover, get stronger and better for, again, going back to work and having a healthier lifestyle.
I think that's wonderful. And Harry, you and I have spoken many times, and one of the things I've heard you say is, Ann, exercise is medicine. Tell me what you mean by that.
Hi, Ann. Yes, exercise is medicine because we don't want to be a slave to over-the-counter drugs or to pharmaceuticals for the rest of our lives. It's amazing what 15 minutes a day, it's amazing what 50 to 75 minutes of moderate vigorous activity per week can do to the human body. There's so many different type of modalities that you can do. People have the wrong impression of personal trainers. They think it's the meathead in there wearing a shirt that's too tight, training some girl in skimpy clothes or training some skinny guy or another meathead. That does exist. But there are so many different ways. There you have aerobics, you have HIIT training, you have standard progressive weight resistance, you have martial arts training. There's so many different types of things that there's always out there fun for somebody. And just a little bit of exercise does the body so many good things on so many different levels. That's why we say exercise is medicine.
Well, I believe it is. And, I remember my dad, bless his heart, my father's from Malta, and they're European, and he would always, when we would get upset, he would say, just breathe, just breathe.
Yes.
Okay, so what is that about breathing? I mean, I always thought he was crazy, okay? Everything, when you're young, you think everything your dad tells you is crazy, but is there something to this about breathing that it really does help the body? I know it helps the stress level, but what is that all about, Mel?
Well, then that's the beautiful part. We hear that constantly throughout our lifetime. It's just whenever we're stressed out, our parents, our teachers, or whoever it may be, just say, hey, just take a deep breath in. But how do you do that? So again, what BreatheFit really believes in is the mechanics behind the proper breath. If you're able to oxygenate your body better, get that better inhalation and efficacy of getting deeper O2 levels in your system, this really helps you, number one, improve your overall bodily functions. And the higher levels we are at a homeostatic and healthy level, our bodies function easier. But this also goes towards the fact of this resiliency. We utilize a lot of this breath work in our teachings to help people cope with mechanisms of stress, of anxiety, and more than anything else, just again, to know their bodies and their limitations.
I think that's so important. And Mel, the other thing too, I was thinking about with so many people working from home. I mean, there's been so many stats out there about people gaining so much weight because, they're at home, they're right by the refrigerator, the routine's so different. And a program like yours, yes, it's the breathing and the working out. But I mean, do you work with people and help them with food plans and things like that too, if they're really struggling with that?
Well, we do. And I think that's a beautiful part of our program is it's just not, like Harry was saying, really just a place to go exercise and lift weights. It's just much like what you believe in, Marianne, is this holistic style of working with people. And how do you help someone if you don't know their full capacity? Anything from their intake of food, as well as their bodily functions, and more importantly, their lifestyles. If you're not going to enjoy the workout, why are you going to be consistent doing it? So Harry and I, when we created BreatheFit, every person is unique. Every exercise is unique. So we make this individually fit for that individual to have a good time.
Well, I know you do because I'll say, well, how are they over there? This is before I joined. And it's, I've lost so much weight and I feel so much better. And they're all different kinds of people. I mean, there's a variety of clients that you have. You don't just have one demographic, right? It's not just millennials. It's not just 60 plus, different types. Is that right?
That's correct. And I'll tell you what, we don't like to pigeonhole anybody into a category. We've got young, apparently healthy ladies that are in their early 20s. We have seniors, people in their 60s and even in their 70s that are also healthy, wanting to lose a little bit of weight, wanting to gain a little bit of lean muscle. We also have people that have a few medical issues, that have respiratory dysfunction that we've been able to help too. But we have a wide variety of clients that we go ahead and currently train and can train. And like Mel said, there's no cookie cutter program. When we do our assessment with somebody, we determine what they can do. I ask what your goal is, because if it's your goal, you're coming to us.
Sure.
If we can't provide you your goal, then we're not doing our job. That's what makes us different from other places, because you have a one-on-one experience. Your hours, we're yours for the full hour, and we will make sure you attain your goal through realistic planning, programming, and progression. We're happy to see anybody, no matter what. We love variety, and we also provide variety.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, the one thing I really was so impressed with when I joined BreatheFit is that, Mel, you sat down with me and you really tried to get to know who I was, what my goals were, what was important to me. I work a lot of hours, but you certainly wanted it to be an experience that would work for my schedule. And I think being a member of a health club in the past, you go in, they just try to slam you into something. They don't really take the time to understand you. And I think that is a difference with BreatheFit. Don't you believe that?
I totally agree with you. It's human nature. If you don't like doing something, you're not going to do it. So what we do, and Harry said it best, when we literally sit down and talk and consult our client the first time, we want to know who you are as a person. And that is so critical, much like I'm sure you do when you try to place people to have these perfect fit. And I think that's what we also try to do in our place, because this is a relationship. This is something we want, and something that's long lasting, something that you're able to gain benefit from. At the end of the day, our goal is to make you reach your goals. And by doing that, it's getting to know you better.
That's just so important. I think that the fact that you take that time to get to know the client, and then also, I know we can laugh about this, but you give me homework.
Yes.
I mean, I come in and I do what I have to do, but then I have homework and I have to go home. And so I think that that's the reality part of it. You just can't come in twice or three times a week and expect miracles. You have to have a routine. And I think there's something to say about doing something and continuing it, and, having a routine. Is that right, Mel?
Well, it's hard work at the end of the day. We don't want the workout to be a task. We don't want this to be another job. But at the same time, these are things that people could utilize that you already train. I mean, people in the workforce today are already stressed out and again, over-induced with a lot of things, whether it be projects, whether it be the specifics of things they have to do. We're able to give them outlets that they can perform at home. They can do even at their workspace for a brief amount of time to take them away from these stresses.
And I think too, we've talked about this before. I think when you're feeling better about your health, your weight, and you're learning how to breathe correctly, then you're able to go into the workplace and be a better employee. Or if you're a manager and you got a lot of stress going on because you had to lay off a bunch of people. Now you're trying to hire some people back. If you have a routine of something like what BreatheFit offers, you're going to be a better manager. So, it works in a multidimensional way. And I think it's great that you treat so many different kinds of people. The other thing, too, is I know you have a website, but if somebody really wants to investigate all the different services that you offer, and I mean, there's so many of them, where do they go to find all that out?
So our website's going to be www.breathe, BREATHE, fitness, FITNESS.com. Our number is 713-487-9811. And you can always call and you can always come schedule a complimentary health assessment where we go ahead and we invite you in, we talk to you, find out what your realistic health goals are or your fitness goals are. We do a couple of quick assessments on you, check your body fat levels, and then we sit down and tell you, okay, this is what we can do for you. And we plan out a care plan for you. It's all complimentary. So we encourage everyone to come in. Our doors are always open.
Well, I think the other thing, too, that I'm so impressed with this program is that you have the combination of the medical background as well as the exercise background. So Mel was the respiratory therapist. He has that background. And so that certainly gives you a little more insight and the client can feel more protected because they're working with someone that has that background. Don't you think so, Mel?
Well, I think you said it best. It gives us a broader spectrum of people that we can help. We are that blend of transition care for some people who just don't know where they're at. Or more than anything else, a lot of times these people don't know where to go. And it's a great starting point to see where we're at, because then we could definitely tell you we could elevate your care or you could keep it where it's at. And that's the beautiful part of what Harry was saying. That's what the assessment process is so important.
Yeah, it is important. And the other thing, too, that I like so much about this program is that you guys took the time, like I said earlier on, to get to know me and who I am and what I'm about. And
you're brilliant, by the way.
Oh, you're just, I don't know about that.
I second that motion.
No, I don't know about that. I'm a hard worker and I love what I do and I like helping people.
Absolutely.
And I think
we're the same way.
We all have that in common. But it's so funny. I've seen these guys on my floor. I've been in this office for a couple years now, and I've seen these guys, and up until just a couple of months ago, I'd say, oh, yeah, I'm coming over. And then, I got busy with different things and never did. But I'll tell you what, I wish I would have done it sooner. They're good people. They care about others. Their program works. They customize a program for you. And I think right now, especially what I'm hearing in the workplace is that it is stressful. And there's this hybrid working thing going on right now where people sometimes are at home and then they go into the office a couple of days a week. And so everybody's routine has changed. So in some ways, if you can have something a couple of days a week that is a routine, that you're helping yourself become the best version of yourself, the workplace and your work environment is only going to become better because of it. So again, I've got Mel here, Mel Arenas and Harry Stafford with BreatheFit. I'm thrilled to have them because I'm a client and it's really helped me. I'm a little bit of a tough one. I mean, I'm always working and it's hard to pin me down, but it's not only is it helping me with losing weight and relaxing and being a little bit less stressed out, but there's such a nurturing feeling with these guys. They care about people. They listen, they talk to you. It's almost, I don't want to say therapy. Yeah, it's kind of therapeutic too.
Your family, Marianne.
So anyway, this is Ann Faremouth with Career Can Do. And again, I'm here talking to Mel and Harry with BreatheFit. I strongly recommend that you check them out. Harry, tell us one more time that phone number and where they can go and look at your website.
Sure. Our phone number is 713-487-9811. Website is breathe-fitness.com. And we have a saying here, if we can close with that. And Mel, if you want to go with me, it's don't just breathe.
Breathe fit.
I love it. All right. Great company, great guys. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. And it certainly will help you navigate the new work world. I look forward to seeing you all next time. And again, this is Mary. Ann Faremouth with Career Can Do. Thank you. We thank you for tuning in to our Career Can Do podcast. We make no guarantees on results for your particular quest, but we hope you enjoy the information presented. Thank you.